Hey guys, Woods Farm here, just back out in Frontenac Provincial Park. We're gonna hike the small Slide Lake Loop today, just an easy 15 kilometers. We've started on the access point on County Road 10, which is Perth Road. And there's not much of a parking lot there, but there's a little space where you can pull off. And we're gonna go in, do the loop, and then backtrack back out. Okay, so we're at the junction in the trail and we're gonna start doing the small Slide Lake Loop. I guess the big question is whether or not we go clockwise or counterclockwise. Okay, so from County Road 10, Perth Road, to the first junction in the trail, it took us 45 minutes, and that is 2.4 kilometers on the map. Now, I think you can do that easily in 30-35 because we stopped a couple times along the way to look at a deer. We've seen a nice buck, and there was also some really big ravens up on a hilltop, and we stopped and took a look at those guys. So you can definitely get here easily within 30 minutes, I think. So now we're just going to continue on to the small Slide Lake Loop part of the trail, and we're going to loop back around to this point, and then we'll head back out to the parking area. So we decided to go clockwise around the loop. I'm not sure if there's going to be more elevation gain that way or if we went counterclockwise. We'll find out. Okay, we're at the next turn in the trail. This is the part where we turn onto the actual small Slide Lake Loop. And 1.7 kilometers, it took us 30 minutes. So now we're continuing kind of northward. This part of the trail, from memory, is a little more difficult, but it's also super scenic. The Slide Lake, I think, is one of the most beautiful parts of the park, so it's worth it. Well, we're starting to get hungry for lunch here, but I think we're gonna continue ahead, and there's a few lookouts along Slide Lake that'll probably make a good place to stop and eat lunch. Okay, this is the first of a series of lookouts along this part of the small Slide Lake Loop. Okay, we just made it to Slide Lake. We're just coming up on one of the first lookouts, and we're gonna stop and have some lunch. So it took us about 45 minutes to get to the lookouts on Slide Lake. We just sat down, had lunch, and now we're going to continue heading northward to the next junction in the trail. Okay, so here's the next junction on the trail. If you take the left, you're going to go to campsite 4 and 5, and we're going to do the 2.4 heading down to campsite number 1. And according to this, a 3.7 to get all the way to the Slide Lake Junction, which would be the turn that takes us back to where we are parked. So that far side of Slide Lake is awesome. A lot of the trail, the second half of that part of the trail, you're up on kind of a ridge line right beside the lake, and it's just beautiful. We've seen some loons with some nestlings, hatchlings, baby loons, I don't know, but it's always nice to see the little ones out with their parents in the lake. And it was a great section to hike, so I would highly recommend it. Okay, we're just at a spot here. There's a little waterfall, and it's kind of a nice spot if you wanted to like cool off your feet or even go for a swim. We're kind of skirting along Buck Lake now. The only problem is a lot of cottagers on the other side of the lake. They'll also come to this waterfall as well, so keep that in mind. So we just had a nice little swim at the waterfall, and we're coming up to the campsite number 1 on Buck Lake. So from the junction on the top end of Slide Lake, it took us about 50 minutes to get down to the campsite number 1. And just to note, if you're at campsite number 1 on Buck Lake, it took us 20 minutes to hike from the campsite up to the waterfall. So if you're interested in going up and checking that out, that's how long it'll take you to get there. So if you're wondering about the campsites on Buck Lake, I recommend trying to get campsite 1A or 1B. The water access is better on these two sites, and 1B in particular looks like it has probably the best swimming, the best water access for swimming. There is some poison ivy around this site, but it's pretty nice overall if you look past that. Both 1A and 1B are heavily shaded, and they've got all the standard amenities. They've got the bear boxes now, fairly good tent pads. You get the cooking grate and picnic table benches, all that stuff at both of these sites. Okay, here's 1C, and not too bad. Again, the water access isn't the best, but you could swim there and you can get down and get to the water, so it's okay. This one's kind of neat. It's got the fire pit right on the water, which is kind of cute. Okay, so here we are at 1D, and I would say out of the 4 sites, this is the least desirable. The water access, not the best. You can get water for drinking, but when it comes to swimming, I've tried to walk out there before when I was here last year, and you're kind of up to your knees in muck, and not really that good. That said, I did catch a really nice smallmouth bass here, so you can fish. I think this site's a little far away from the privy as well, so you got to keep that in mind. But again, 1D, all the standard stuff, tent pad, picnic table, fire pit, all that. If you're through hiking, it's not that bad. And it is kind of far away from the other 3 sites, so you do have a little bit more privacy. So it's got that going for it. Okay, so we're back at the main junction that heads out to Perth Road or County Road 10. I think it took us, 25 minutes to get here from campsite number 1. So we've completed the small Slide Lake Loop, and not too hard, especially with day packs. I don't know how the total hiking time, but we definitely didn't go fast. We took our time, had a nice lunch on Slide Lake, went swimming at the waterfall, which was really awesome. So we're not setting any speed records, but you can definitely get a sense of what the trail's like based on the video. If you want to see more Frontenac Provincial Park videos, definitely like and subscribe to the Woods Farm. I'm always posting hiking and backpacking overnight trips, 2-night trips to Frontenac all the time. You can go back and check out some of my other videos from some of my other Frontenac trips. So definitely do that. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. And as always, thanks for watching.